back in Harmarville, Pennsylvania. An enthusiastic crowd waving and shouting. And Steve-Hoskins has played every one of them. I think he's going to go around and introduce himself to each and every one if he wins.
Well, the top-seeded player has lost 13 of the last 14 title matches.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a bowler right here in Danny Wiseman, who has won 6 out of 7 times from the lead. Can he get a break? It's going to fall over, but the machine touches it. And the machine cannot help the 5-pin. They'll have to put the 5-pin back up. He'll shoot the spare.
Wow. That's a heck of a way to start.
Well, it's a tough way to start, but he did make a good shot. You know, Danny Wiseman, the 5'9", 165-pound 30-year-old from Baltimore, Maryland. Been a pro for 14 years. Just recently went from 4 steps to a 5-step approach.
And converts the 5-pin.
Told me that it helps him to open the lanes up and hook the ball more. Well, you know, Steve-Hoskins rolled 300 about a month ago in Rochester for 10,000. If he should do it in this game, it'd be worth 100,000.
Courtesy of AGFA Pictures.
Well, you just need 11 more, Steve.
Come on, baby. Good shot. One at a time. This is you.
Once again, we see the lane breakdown for Steve-Hoskins, and very close from the left lane to the right lane.
Get a good look at the grips in his ball, plus a thumb slug. So many players go into that nowadays.
And I don't understand why Steve would want to have the finger grips. He gets so much on the ball, I would think that it would just rip his hands apart, but I think Steve knows best.
Yeah, I love it, baby. This one's mine.
Well, Steve may know best, but the crowd thought Voss was boss. We'll see if Wiseman, and I can't think of something to go with that, but
he can take a 229 average and let it go with it.
Carries the light hit this time.
He's trying to show emotion, but it's difficult coming off after watching for an hour and 10 minutes to come out and get that emotion as fast as he wants it.
And we see that Wiseman and Voss dominated this event, but Hoskins, who was either 6th or 5th most of the time, may be the guy.
Very consistent. We take a look at another nice-looking player in Danny Wiseman. And another player having a little trouble with the left lane.
2-8, not an easy spare.
I would think he would stay with his strike shot, move himself over on the approach 4 or 5 boards, and hook it into the 2-8. That would be my choice. Let's see if it's his.
A little extra time, and he's trying to hook into it, and makes it.
He says no problem. There's Danny's mother, Dorothy Potter.
Steve says, make more noise. The more you make, the better I like it. Well, they had a great match in match play.
246, 237. Hoskins was the victor.
Boy, he looks so good tonight. Same as he did in Rochester.
Just incredible.
Make a good shot.
That's very good. That is very good advice he's giving himself. He said, now calm down.
Enjoy it. That's right.
Calm down and make a good shot.
What better city to be a bus?
Well, he's an awfully small bus. He's a little bus. Oh, boy.
Come on. Little help.
Little help. He got it.
Too bad. That's too bad. I love it. Little help.
Let's watch this little help that Steve-Hoskins asked for. There goes the ball, the pins to the sideboard, and everything's shaking around, and then here comes Steve just yelling and having fun. Break for Danny Wiseman, but he's down by 30 pins.
And Bob Kirk, vice president for the Bayer Corporation, sitting right next to the bus.
And seems to be having a good time. And how could you not be having a good time in this atmosphere, Mike?
Well, if Danny Wiseman doesn't strike here, he won't be having the best of times.
He's down by 30, can cut it to 20 in the 5th frame. And even early in the match, very important. Came in light last time. There he makes the adjustment for coming in light, goes right through the nose, and right now it looks as if Steve-Hoskins has everything going his way. Not only is he dialed into the lanes with good carry, but Dan Wiseman,
it seems like
lost.
Everybody has gotten that over-under reaction, you know, where throw it a little right and it goes high, in a little, and it comes in light on the left lane, except for Hoskins. Why?
Well, Hoskins can open up the lanes and use more power than anybody else on our telecast. And that enables him to really have more room. It's important for Steve-Hoskins not to get too emotionally charged too soon. He still has 6 frames to bowl, Mike. And I know from past experience, if you get too excited early in a match, it can come back to haunt you.
Well, he got that in. Breaks it up, leaves just the 3-pin.
All right, forget about it. Come on.
But all of his self-talk is perfect.
Clear your head.
Well, everything is a positive affirmation to himself, which is very important. And the people watching, boy, if you're bowling in a tournament or even in a league, you want to make sure that you don't get down on yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Even if you make a mistake, that's okay. You're only human.
At the 3-pin, Hoskins has it. Hoskins seems to be lined up, and the PBA is online. For all the important stats and information about the Professional Bowlers Tour, visit our website. Now it's sponsored by Brunswick. You can visit us at www.pbatour.com, and you get all the PBA news and notes.
Well, we'll see if Steve-Hoskins can clear his head. After he threw that first shot, went through the nose, he went back and calmed himself down and said, okay, just clear your head, forget about it, now let's make a good shot. The chant for Steve, Steve, Steve. That's another shot that's bad.
Leaves the 3-6.
I just be getting out of it.
Right now, he wants to get those shoulders in line with the target. But I really think that, like what you talked about just a couple frames ago, is what's happening.
It's like a prize fighter punching himself out. You know, there's only so much energy. And he dig deep and get some more of it.
And folks, as he was punching himself out, he just smacked me. So as Hoskins converts the 3-6. Wiseman, this is his opportunity to get something going.
Well, he has the right lane pretty well wired, Mike. It's a matter of putting a couple of strikes together, and that means striking on lane 25. And first things first, lane 26. Made a pretty good shot, but the ball just did not quite come back to the pocket.
Danny Wiseman changing balls to shoot the 7-pin. Go cross lane at it. It's time to convert that spare, and now it's time for Dexter footwork of the pros.
Well, as we can see, Danny Wiseman's got an extremely long approach. He takes long steps. Watch this slide, Mike. Very, very long slide. Raises up slightly at the foul line, and the foot turns a little bit to the right, but very nice looking style.
Now maybe that he's missed 26, he can hit 25.
Well, he's going to hope he can. He moved in deeper. And there's that 4-9, the same split that Brian Voss left. And he sort of gives it the okay sign. A little bit of sarcasm from Danny, and I don't blame him. That is a terrible break in a title match, especially for
But he used his fall.
This important.
He used this ball just to shoot the 7-pin. So he has some idea of how tight it is going across lane as he puts a piece of tape into the ball.
And he's a very good spare shooter. He's very accurate. He's got a chance to make this, but boy, he really needs it right now. And
doesn't get across.
Ball didn't hook at all. Right now, Steve-Hoskins, 41 pins. I would say that opening probably would give him a little energy.
Yeah. Puts that gas right back in the engine. Goes high, but leaves only the 4-pin.
Now, sometimes the toughest thing in the world to do, Mike, is just fill frames. If Steve-Hoskins can fill the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, he wins this tournament. Cross lane at the 4-pin.
Some of golf's biggest names compete for a total purse of $1.1 million in the Franklin Templeton Shark Shootout, hosted by who else? The Shark himself, Greg Norman. Thousand Oaks, California hosts this event with coverage Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 40 pins.
Now, Steve-Hoskins knows exactly the situation. It's just a matter of filling frames.
Good shot.
And another good shot. You know, needs to continue to just make good shots. He's okay, but I would think right now it's getting tougher to breathe.
Well, like you say, sometimes trying to finish with spares is tougher than strikes.
Come on, let's go.
Well, you know, somebody should write a book about how to throw a lot of strikes and make a lot of spares. Oh my gosh, somebody did.
In your hand.
Oh my goodness, my new book.
From Gutter Balls to Strikes by Mike Durbin.
How about that, huh? Well, right now, Wiseman needs to read a chapter on striking. Hit it.
Well, he makes a good shot, and it's just looking more and more as if this tournament is
destined
for Steve-Hoskins taking. You know, tomorrow on the 13th at the Downtown Athletic Club in New York City, Johnny Petraglia will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Marty Lyons Foundation during the Children's Award Dinner. The award represents Johnny's work with children with special needs throughout his life. And other honorees include John Franco of the Mets, Derek Jeter of the Yankees, Kendall Gill of the Nets, and Mike Richter of the Rangers. So our congratulations to Johnny Petraglia.
And one more bad break for Danny Wiseman. Started the game out with a 5-pin that was down. It came back up. 4, 9, 10 pin. Now a solid 9 in the 9th frame. It just wasn't his day.
Yeah, they're still trying to give Danny some encouragement, but it's going to be a hard-fought loss.
Has the spirit.
Well, I think Steve knows right now. I'm sure Lisa knows, and Lindsay and Ryan. Well, I don't know if Ryan knows. He's kind of young, but Lindsay, looks like Daddy's going to take home the big money.
Ninth frame, Hoskins.
Yes! Oh, thank you.
That's it.
Good job.
That's all he needed, and a very good sportsman, Danny Wiseman.
Give it up for yourself. Come on. Yeah.
Well, I think he's going to give half the trophy, but not the check to the crowd.
Just needs 1 pin.
That's enough. That's 1 strike.
It does not get any better than this.
Well, he's got 2 victories in the fall and a 2nd place finish, and it hasn't gotten any better than that for Steve Hoskins.
Wiseman just finishing it out where Steve-Hoskins has won the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Champion. We'll be back to talk to him. And I know you're thinking of hitting that remote, but don't you do it. Stay with us. The championship round finals of the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship are being brought to you by Brunswick. Line up with the perfect lineup from Brunswick. And by Range Rover, the ultimate luxury vehicle from Land Rover. Your champion and the newest ham on the PBA Tour, Steve-Hoskins.
I'd say this is my forum here. I gotta love this stuff, baby.
Well, you're gonna love something else even more. Right now we have Bob Kirk, the vice president from Bayer, with this gorgeous trophy.
Steve, what an exciting evening to watch you climb up that ladder. Congratulations. On behalf of the Bayer Corporation, I'd like to present our trophy for the Bayer Brunswick Championship for tonight.
And a beautiful one it is, I'll tell you what. Is this not pretty? Thank you, Bayer. You have stepped up and made bowling just tremendous in the Pittsburgh area. I'll tell you what, we can't thank you enough.
And we saw this gentleman earlier as he made that great announcement about the deal. Right now, he's got a check for $40,000, Fred Florjanic.
Congratulations, Steve. On behalf of Brunswick and our partners, Bayer, let me give you this check for $40,000 for your first championship.
Thank you, Fred. Lindsay, Ryan, this is for you. Fred, I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely speechless with how Brunswick has stepped up to help the PBA Tour in rough times, and I'll tell you what, they're going to bring us into the new millennium. Thank you, Brunswick.
Steve, when you started the fall tour, did you ever dream anything like this could happen in just 6 short weeks?
Dream, yes. Reality, hell no. I'll tell you what, I'm ecstatic. I feel like Marshall. He's a little animated.
No, you don't, Steve.
It's euphoria right now. I tell you what, this is great.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
For Marshall Holman, this is Mike Durbin saying so long from the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship, where Steve-Hoskins is your champion. We'll take a look now at some of the champions from the fall tour of 1997. The PBA will be back on ESPN in January with the Japan Cup. Check your local listings. Stay tuned now for the Coaches vs. Cancer Championship game. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.